We're here with encourage defender Kaleigh Kurtz on the team's 1-1 draw against Bay FC. Kaleigh, tonight is your 100th NWSL regular season appearance, 100th appearance in the regular season with the Courage. Just it's been a journey through that milestone. Just what does hitting that mean to you?
Well, I just had my 30th birthday. And if you would have asked me, when I was first joining this league, if I was going to still be playing at 30, I would have thought you were nuts, especially when I rode the bench for the first 4 years. I talk about my soccer journey from going through club, high school, college, pro as kind of this ladder where I always started and I was never the best on any team that I ever started with. And I climbed my way to get to where I am, and then I'd jump to the next level, and then I'd have to climb again. And so it's just like a stepping ladder is how I've always described my career. And that's kind of what I had to do here. And I chose the Courage in the first, when I was first coming to the NWSL, because I wanted to play behind Abby Dahlkemper and Abby Urseg. I thought that they were fantastic when I watched them. I thought I could really learn from them. And I did indeed. There was a lot of things from both of their games that I've taken and tried to put my own spin on, because obviously you can't steal someone's exact game, but you can learn from what they do, the tendencies that players have, and then with your own athleticism and your own body, figure it out and see what works for you.
Tonight it seems like Sean and Ash both talked about a little bit of a start with the team kind of grew into the game. What's kind of your read on that?
Yeah, I think at least when I was playing in it, teams have typically done something different than what they've done against other opponents. So when you are starting to watch and you watch Bay FC in the last 2 games, whether they played Louisville and when they've played Portland, they don't really high press fully. And I thought they did a really good job of doing that against us. They kind of man for man went against us. And so when there's little things that are different than what you see in the scout, you might start questioning, you start thinking about how to methodically change the game and how things look different than what you've been training in all week. So sometimes that's just going to happen and it's going to be slower because you're trying to figure out the puzzle piece. Sometimes it's a chess match, and especially the way that we play and the style is very methodical, very tiki-taka, whatever it is, small spaces, keep the ball on the ground for the most part. We have to break down teams methodically, and that takes learning their tendencies and being able to figure out how to break them down. So yes, can we do better and learn quicker than how it happened? Yes. But I think that's typically what's kind of happening. And so we just need to, in those moments, everyone want to continue to get on the ball, and we'll figure it out if we're just connected and have short passes and make them move.
Questions?
Yeah.
First of all, happy birthday.
Thanks.
So milestone birthday, milestone game. What are some of the lessons that you're kind of going to take from the first 100 games, the first 30 years, and kind of your vision for your next 100 games?
Whoa! Whoa!
We got big plans for you.
Apparently, knock on wood. Well, I think 30 is not too different than 29 for me. 28 and 29 was when I started asking why a lot again. And I think I started going back to my roots of my childhood. And I was thinking about how, you grow up and you know nothing. And all you need to do is continue asking why. And now when, if I was having anxiety or struggling or having this crazy pregame routine, it was like, okay, well, why do I feel like I need to do this? So that's what year 28 and 29 for me, was figuring out all the why questions and learning myself a little bit more. So I'm hoping I've figured out myself a little bit more now that I'm entering 30. In terms of game style play, it's just, lead by example. I like to think that I'm a player who is going to show up at training every single day, and I'm going to give it my all, and hopefully everyone can see that. I'm going to, maintain my fitness, maintain my game streak, and just continue to play. But I like to lead by example and just kind of do the dirty work.
You've seen the league grow obviously a lot, and so much of the time that growth is talked about in terms of the national players, in terms of the people at the top. But I'm wondering from your perspective. I mean, you're a starter, you're the core of the league, but you kind of built to that, right? You've been on the bench, you've seen all the kinds of formations.
Yeah.
What do you think about this latest contract contract, and how does it serve players like you who aren't on the national team, but
Yeah.
who are like the core of what this league is?
Yeah. If I'm speaking bluntly, there's a bit of a generation that kind of got skipped a little bit. And I call us the generation that's, really helped build the foundation for the younger group. Does it stink a little bit when you see a younger person coming into the league and having a higher salary than you? A little bit of a dagger. But I actually had an amazing conversation with Casey Murphy, and she was like, we shouldn't be mad at that player for having a higher salary. We should be celebrating them for having that salary. They are just blessed with that, and it's because of us that they have that salary. So just changing the perspective, and she just helped change the mind frame for so many people of that generation that's kind of gotten skipped over a little bit. But in terms of being a mainstay in a place, it wasn't always that way. So it was a lot of work. When I first got here, I was more reserved, more quiet, and then I was able to build into my personality and really show people my personality. And I think all the media people typically know that I'm someone that is quite blunt, and I have a lot of things doing with my hands, and so it's really nice as I've become a bit more of a veteran to be able to be a little crazy in myself. Yeah.